everybody, my name is Brodos and welcome to yet another Hearthstone deck guide. Today we will be taking a look at OTK Quest Mage, also known as Exodia Mage. So this is a new archetype that has been released and has been available since the release of the Journey to Un'Goro, so just a few days, and it is one of the strongest decks. But today we will go over the Mulligan, the card choice, a little bit over the playstyle and the actual matchups, what you have to look out for, what are the biggest flaws, the biggest advantages of the deck itself, and what you should actually go for in a match. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna go to the Mulligan and the card choice. In order to understand the Mulligan itself, you need to know how the deck works. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the entire deck and divide it into four groups, into four sectors. We have the combo cards, the cards that you actually need to win the match. You have the defensive cards, the cards that will help you stall and survive, just to be safe overall. You have the cycle cards. These help you go to the quest cards, go to the combo cards, go to the defensive cards. You will just get everything you need while also having some kind of board presence. And as mentioned earlier, the quest cards are the last group, the fourth group. These are the ones that will actually help you complete the mage quest, open the Waygate, in order to get the time warp spell. So first things first, the combo cards. So here we have three cards. We have Molten Reflection, the new addition with Journey to Un'Goro. We have Sorcerer's Apprentice and Archmage Antonidas. These are the three cards you will need to complete this this combo. But you may be thinking, okay, so this is just a 3-card combo. No. It's a 5-card combo because you need double Sorcerer's Apprentice and double Molten Reflection. The combo actually works playing the double Sorcerer's Apprentices first, followed by the Molten Reflections, then using the Time Warp because you usually you have to complete the quest first, then Time Warp, you take an extra turn, Antonidas, bam bam bam, Fireball for zeros, and you just win the match. So that is how it goes. Of course, in the Mulligan, you don't want any cards of the combo cards. Then we have the defensive cards. Here we have Doomsayer, we have Frost Nova, we have the double ice block, ice barrier, blizzard, stuff like that. The only card you may want to consider to keep is actually Doomsayer because it's an okay play on turn 2, but it's also good later on with something like a blizzard or a Frost Nova or something like that. And here we come to the third point. What you actually want in your Mulligan are cycle cards. You want that Loot Hoarder, you want Novice Engineer, you want Arcanologist because it helps you draw into a secret, so you won't draw into the secret later. It's really consistent. You definitely always want to play the Loot Hoarder over the Novice Engineer first because it's slower and then it gets you the card. Well, later on you will maybe need to get the draw instantly and you can play the Novice Engineer for just 2 mana, while if you play the Loot Hoarder and want to draw, you have to ping him and that's 4 mana. So that's how that works. Also, Cold Light Oracle is played later on. If you play too early against a deck that needs a little bit of steam, a little bit of help, and lacks card draw, you'll probably lose. As an example, I would like to use the Quest Rogue that is really popular lately. If you play Cold Light Oracle, give 2 cards to the Quest Rogue, he's just gonna have 5/5s all over the place and you're gonna be screwed. And last but not least, we have the quest cards. Here we have Babbling Book, Primordial Glyph, and Kabbalist Stone. Babbling Book is okay. There are currently 2 of them in the deck. He will probably be cut to 1 for another Blood Mage Talnos, another cycle card, while the Kabbalist Tome is usually used when you play the Sorcerer's Apprentices. You play Kabbalist Tome for 1, you get the spells, you just throw them randomly in order to complete the quest, open the Waygate. So that is how it works. You just want cycle cards and maybe a Doomsayer. Okay, so last thing we have left, we covered the card choice, we covered the Mulligan, we have the matchups and the playstyle itself. So this deck is obviously good against slower decks. Against faster decks it struggles a bit, like Pirate Warrior, like Quest Rogue. So what you have to do here is actually have a decent and proper playstyle. An example that I used over in my written guide at Good Gaming is if you play Primordial Glyph and you get a Fireball, a Pyroblast, and a Cone of Cold, and let's say your opponent is at 12 HP. I will give you just 3 seconds to think over what card you would pick. So, if your pick was Cone of Cold, it was correct. Because what Cone of Cold actually does is it blocks 3 damage. You cannot win with burst here. The whole plan is survive and combo, survive and combo. The only way you maybe go for a Pyroblast is if your opponent played a Dirty Rat earlier and kicked one of your combo pieces out of the deck. And this is what you actually have to look out for. You have to look out for Dirty Rat, a counter spell, a Spellbender, and a Potion of Polymorph. These 3 secrets usually get played in a mirror match from like a Kabbalist Tome or a Babbling Book, so you need to be careful to play around those. Anyways, back to the story. Pyroblast, Fireball, they just are single removals, while Cone of Cold usually blocks the biggest amount of damage and buys you the biggest amount of time. So that is how the mindset you have to go into every match with. All in all, the deck is really strong, really viable. There are many little details that if you misplay, you'll probably be in a very, very bad position, lose the match maybe because of just one slight misplay, but it's a hard deck to play. You really have to master it. You have to feel how to play it, what to discover, when to play the Kabbalist Stone, maybe play it earlier, maybe risk a little bit. So all together, it's a hard deck, definitely fun, innovative. It's not just an OTK that is easy to get. That would be all for this time. Thank you very much for listening, watching. My name is Brodos, and until the next time, stay lucky.